Hello, my name is Mariah Sincere, and I am a self love coach who helps women radically transform their lives through one on one coaching and accountability. We all need coaching. We all need help, especially when we are in a block and we feel like we cannot move forward by ourselves. When I need coaching, I get coaching. And the proof is my life. I have radically transformed my own life. I'm a single mother living here in Colombia. I decided at the beginning of the year that I wanted to change my life. I came up with the plan and executed, and I can help you do the same as well. So if you are interested in that, email me at thepassportsis@gmail.com. Now, guys, when you're coming in here, please remember to hit the like button and comment, interact. That helps me keep the live going. We have a couple things to talk about today. Have y'all noticed some of these changes that I made? Look, my friend, she did my logo for me. I paid her, you know, pay women for their work. I paid her, and she's also working on my website. So that should be up within the next couple of months. So I'm super excited about the things that I have coming, y'all. So I'm just waiting on everybody to get on in here so that we can get into this good tea. Guys, I'm going to redo my live about why I quit teaching because I was on live the other night and I got in trouble. Y'all know YouTube and their rules. They had an issue with me showing some third-party content. What's up, D Malley? My boy is in the house. What's up? Yes, I love it. I love it when the men show up with the ladies because it's a good mix over here. You know, it's a good mix. Some people might say that I'm biased towards women, and of course, I'm a woman. Of course, I'm a woman. Of course, I'm biased towards the ladies. But any man who wants to be, fair and objective and respectful towards women is always invited to the cookout over here. Okay. So I really appreciate that. With that said, guys, we are going to be talking about the passing of Rich Homie Quan. Rest in peace. Okay, he was like the soundtrack to my college days, to a generation's college days. I mean, my favorite song was da 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 make you feel some type of way. I don't forgot the words now because I don't really listen to that kind of music anymore. But I remember him and Amigos used to always get the party jumping. So rest in peace to him. He's fell off for a while now. So he had kind of been out of the mix. I know his name got brought up in the YSL trial, and not too long after that, he was found unalived at home by his girlfriend, which, to be honest, it does seem kind of coincidental, but I don't know what went on with that. But rest in peace to him. He was really young, and it always, when somebody has potential to go further and they pass away at a really young age, it's always disheartening. Even though, like, these days, to be honest, I don't really listen to rap music like that, because it's too degrading. Like, I'll listen to it if I'm at a party or around other people, but it's not something that I want to listen to in my spare time. But I always will have empathy for people who use music as a way out of a bad situation or a bad environment, and it didn't quite pan out how they wanted it to pan out. That industry is something else. But with that said, y'all, I'm trying to squeeze the last little bit out of this candle. I bought this candle from a lady that lives here in Colombia, and she hand makes them, and she put maracuya in this, which is a fruit here in Colombia. It smells really good. That's why I'm trying to squeeze everything out of it. I'm gonna call her and order a couple more. But with that said, you know, with a lot of these rappers, it seems it's not even just the rapper thing. With a lot of these men, once they pass away, that's when all the baby mamas, girl, this candle smells so good. She really should have a store, an international store. Um, And what's up? I'm glad you popped up. Nicole, she's another one of my people that always pop up, very consistent. I appreciate you, girl. Um, so yeah, the side chicks start coming out the woodwork, right? And I want us ladies to have a conversation about this, honestly and truly, because I don't understand why anybody would willingly embarrass themselves like that. I'm not even gonna get into the whole side chick thing, right? Because that is a complicated topic within this itself. But one thing you should always do, ladies, is preserve and protect your public image. And I don't care how much you love a man or how much you cared for a man. I don't care if that man died and you feel like it's a special circumstance. You never publicly embarrass yourself for a man. I don't care who it is, especially one that was not claiming you while they were alive. Okay. So let me share my screen. So this is on the Shade Room. Okay. So it says Erica Banks sparks criticism after sharing tribute post about rich homie Quan filled with cozy photos and videos. Now, mind you, rich homie Quan has a girlfriend who is the one who found him unalived on the couch. So I know that situation was very heartbreaking for her. So Erica Banks said on her post, she had posted him hugged up, all that. All you wanted was to find happiness again. I always saw it in your face and heard it in your voice, but you had so much left to do. I'm just glad we were able to enjoy such peaceful and memorable moments while you were here, man. She continued, such a sweetheart. Rest in paradise, Quan. Now, that is filled with all kind of shade. Okay? All kind of shade. And let me tell y'all why. All of that about, oh, these peaceful moments. She was definitely trying to throw shade at the girlfriend for maybe reasons of Rich Homie Quan going and saying he's arguing with his girlfriend. He doesn't have peace at home. Obviously, he's a cheater. Okay. So she felt the need to let the world know that she was in this relationship with him behind the scenes at the exact same time everybody else found out. And women like this irritate my soul because, it's one thing to be a side chick, it's another thing to be a mean bitch, right? It's another thing to want to intentionally try to hurt another woman. Okay. Um, and that says a lot about her character. Now, Rich Homie Quan was definitely wrong, and I know he's dead and gone. Rest in peace. But if he was alive, I would say that this was trash behavior on his part. And yes, he is the one who owes his girlfriend loyalty. But with that said, there needs to be some type of honor and code among women, period. Especially if you are the one messing with another woman's man and she knows nothing about you and she's trying to work her relationship out. Why hurt that woman because you're upset because this man won't claim you or won't leave her for you, right? And then on top of that, let's say you don't have any feelings for other women, or can't empathize with another woman in her situation. What about his kids? See, if she really loved this man and it wasn't about her ego, and it wasn't about her wanting to be seen and known as this man's girlfriend, what about this man's children? As a grown woman, if you really care about somebody, you will consider how your actions affect their children. And no, yeah, they're his children. He should be thinking about his own children, but he didn't go. Can't do anything about that. but we are responsible for our own decency, right? And as a woman, I just don't understand putting your business out there like that. There's an old saying, and my homegirl reminds me of it constantly. I love it whenever she says it. And she says, never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And that's in life, in love, and in business. And women, we're entitled to secrets. The world doesn't have to know everything about you. Let there be some mystery to you, right? But as a woman, you do a huge disservice to yourself when you care more about your standing with the man to where you will sabotage potential future relationships, right? Now, any man that is dealing with Erica Banks knows that she was willing to play side chick to rich homie Quan, which, I mean, let's be honest. When he passed away, he was not at the top of his career. He had a good run while it was running, but then that was over, right? So it wasn't even like she was a side chick to a A-list celebrity, right? You're a side chick to somebody who fell off. So any man that's worth his salt is gonna remember when he's dealing with her that, oh, you were willing to play side chick for a man that was not even on my caliber. And I'm sorry, guys. And 9 times out of 10, she's going to be treated as such. Period. So trying to be mean and nasty and trying to let the world know what they were to each other, she ended up shooting herself in the foot. Not to mention, it was 3 other women that came out after that who were also his side chick. See, she thought she was the only one. Oh, she thought she was the only one. But these type of men keep multiple side chicks and multiple connections with women because they either need these women or they can't be alone. And as I've heard a man say before, one is too close to none. One is too close to none. So when you're dealing with men who don't like themselves and have a scarcity mindset, and let's not forget, when we're talking about the rap game, these men's image is heavily dependent upon them looking like they can juggle multiple women or they can tell women the truth and still have their way. You don't get any points in this game by being faithful to one woman or being faithful to one woman, well, or being with one woman and being faithful to a side chick. That's just not how that goes. That's not how that goes dealing with regular people, but let alone in the rap industry. So she really played herself with that, honestly and truly. And that just lets us know her character. But honestly, I knew her character was trashy and ghetto when she made a post saying that if you're not a baddie, you can't go to the club with her. Like if your hair and your nails and your makeup aren't on point, she doesn't want to be seen with you in public. And Erica Banks is one of those women who got plastic surgery, and nothing's wrong with plastic surgery. I'm not, for or against that. Do you? But when you get it and then you feel like you need to, shit on other women, that's terrible. That's terrible. Or you feel like you can't be friends with certain people because they don't look a certain way. And that's why these type of people like Erica Banks always have chaos in their lives because they're ghetto. And I don't know what other way to say that. And there's nothing wrong with being ghetto fabulous. And I'm not saying this because some people will try to make it a race thing. My mom is black. I'm not saying that because I know plenty of very classy black women or those bougetto black women, but then you got them bottom of the barrel mentality kind of women who they are the problem, right? And they're bad friends, they're mean women, mean girls, and they always have chaos in their lives and they don't understand why. But you can tell those type of women off the bat, which is going to take me to my next topic. So, Ice Spice. Ice Spice. Now, if y'all don't know, Ice Spice is getting blasted right now all across social media for being colorist, as she should. I don't know if it's a colorism thing so much as she's just a bad friend, but I don't know how. Maybe it's because I'm 31, but even at their age. I think Ice Spice might be 23, 24. Even at that age, I could always tell a hood rat. I could always tell a girl who was gonna throw me under the bus. I could always tell when a girl wasn't being genuine or if she was superficial. And that is why I've had friendships for I've had the same friends for 15 years. Okay? I don't fall out with my friends because I'm a good judge of character to begin with. So my friends and I are able to grow. So whenever I see women who oh my God, whenever I see women who are constantly falling out with friends like Ice Spice, you know, I do believe that they play a part in that because why would you even be around that type of person to begin with? And I feel like the rap game and the music industry that attracts superficial people who do a lot of stuff that are undisciplined, right? So y'all got to understand, anytime you're working in the rap game as a woman, and I don't care how much they sit up and try to talk about there's no competition and, you know, sisterhood amongst, you know, the rappers. No, it's a competition. Labels pit these girls against each other. So they're competing based on primarily looks. That's the main thing they're going to compete with. They're competing for attention. They're competing for sales. They're competing for streams. They're competing on who can sell out what theater or stadium or wherever they're working. There's a competition, right? So I think the issue with Cleopatra, I think that's the young lady's name, is that she didn't understand that she was in a competition. See, the whole time she thought she was building a friendship, and she didn't understand that she was useful. No, D Malley, they've been friends for 2 years. Okay. As a matter of fact, I was watching this video earlier. And basically Cleopatra had just met Ice Spice like 2 years prior to now. And you know, I don't know if the girl's name is Cleopatra or Cleotrapa. Okay. Anyway, I see Cleopatra and Cleotrapa depending on where I look. But they had just met and Cleopatra went and did an interview, right? And Cleopatra is Nigerian and the person who was interviewing her was Nigerian as well. So he brought up Ice Spice and said that, you know, her album was fire. Then he was like, well, you know she Nigerian, right? And Cleopatra was like, nah, I ain't know that. She ain't tell me that. She told me she had a Nigerian friend. Um, so after that, Ice Spice got pissed at her. They kind of fell out, and she was like, "Well, you could have at least, you know, why you didn't tell them I was Nigerian?" And she was like, "Well, I didn't know that, and I'm not your PR. Like, you didn't say I didn't. I just met you. I didn't know that you were Nigerian." And furthermore, she was like, you know, well, why don't you just tell them at least say that I'm black? Girl, I don't know what you are. I'm not gonna tell them your race. I didn't know your race. I didn't ask you that. We never talked about it, right? So come to find out, she's not even Nigerian. What happened is Ice Spice's father is African American. He's black from the United States, and he went and took an ancestry test and found out that, you know, that they are descendants of Nigerian slaves that came to America. Okay, if I go take a DNA test right now, I'm gonna get some results like that somewhere, you know. And I'm biracial, but culturally, I grew up in the United States. I grew up around, you know, I grew up with my mother's side. So I'm not about to walk around. I don't care what a DNA test tells me. I think what it is, what Ice Spice is, Cleopatra had a lot of clout. She's talented. And I think what it is was Ice Spice befriended her because she wanted to tap into that demographic of artists. Y'all know the whole Nigerian artist, you know, she doesn't do Afro beats, but still that Nigerian, that South African, that's in now. Afro beats, that's all in now. You know, tie all of that, the exoticism of Africa and their culture and their music is in right now. So I think she used Cleopatra to tap into that demographic. And I don't think Cleopatra understands this game, right? And I know she doesn't understand because honestly and truly, I don't think that she should have come out about this online. And I'll explain that why later. Not to defend Ice Spice, but some things you got to take your L in silence if you want success in this type of game. But let me continue. So I'm going to go to my TikTok and we're gonna listen to the stories. Okay, I'm gonna go to my favorites. I'm really nervous to share this because y'all YouTube has been tripping so bad. But I'm gonna share it anyway. I'm so mad they took my video down because we were on live for a good hour. Mhm. Here we go. Okay, let me put my earphones on so I can hear. Okay. These earphones be messing up my little outfit. But that's okay.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cleo.
Ooh, I can't hear anything. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is part one.
So, y'all know me. I've always been vocal about everything, about literally everything. Nobody can shut me up. Nobody can silence me. Like, was you silent or was you silent? Okay, and nobody's gonna do that to me.
Side note, she is a very pretty girl, and that wig looks like it's coming up from her scalp. Okay, so she looks good, clear skin. Okay, she not one of them.
This video isn't to bash anyone. This is for me to speak on my experience and what I went through. And I want my fans to learn from this. My fans, my followers, my supporters, my future fans, followers, supporters. You don't even have to like me. I want y'all to literally take this situation that I'm about to break down to y'all and be inspired by it and understand that no matter what the opportunity is, nobody should make you feel less than or make you feel like shit because they gave you an opportunity. It does not matter. It does not give a door, an open way for somebody to try to humiliate you or try to make you feel less than.
Let's pause now. Um, we could talk about shoulda, coulda, woulda all day, but the fact of the matter is, even though people shouldn't make you feel lesser than because they gave you an opportunity, a lot of people will give you an opportunity just so they can shit on you. And that's why you have to use discernment. That's why you have to know who you're dealing with so that you can determine why. It's very rare in life that you will meet people who will do things for you out of the kindness of their heart. And Cleopatra, it sounds like she's still operating under the illusion that Ice Spice was doing her a favor, and she doesn't understand the value that she brought to the situation. She has fans too. She's a better rapper than Ice Spice. So her name does bring people to a concert. It does help sell tickets. Okay. Is Ice Spice the bigger name? Yes, she is. But Ice Spice wouldn't have invited Cleopatra if she didn't feel like she added some type of value, and she wouldn't have invited her to perform. So, in my opinion, it was supposed to be a situation where there's a fair exchange, right? Yes, Ice Spice has the bigger platform, but Cleopatra has the talent, and she also brings her own cult following. So you got to be able to differentiate even when you're a friend, when you have friendships with people, when it's business. Okay? So if you do business with friends, you got to be able to switch gears and understand when it is business, not somebody's giving you an opportunity like you just started yesterday when this girl's been grinding. But let's continue. And I'll get to that message later. Let's continue.
And I feel as though being such a confident black woman, I'm sorry. I didn't look, I'm ashy as fuck as a black woman. I didn't even want to like start tearing, okay? Anyways, as a black woman, a confident one who knows exactly who she is and exactly what she wants in this world, people are so intimidated by it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either you're intimidated and scared of it, or you love it and you just love it. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I was around somebody who was clearly intimidated by me, like, and just who I am as a person. And at first, it might have been something that they liked, but as you can see, I only go up, and I could be seen as a threat to somebody who clearly isn't confident.
Okay, I believe that. I do believe that. And there are, first of all, let me say this, and this is not to trash biracial or light skinned women, because there are a lot of good ones out there, right? There are a lot of us, especially the ones of us. I don't know if y'all hung around many biracial people, but I always say this: the ones that were raised by their black mother, the majority of us act alike. We don't walk around acting like Ice Spice. The majority of us, because we were raised in a house with a black woman, empathize with black women and have seen the struggles that they went through. And this is not to negate, because we have our own set of struggles. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not talking about that right now. Okay, I'm talking about this particular woman's situation. And I have seen a lot of biracial girls be jealous of darker skinned women who are just as pretty as them, who are just as talented or even more talented. As a biracial woman myself, a lot of biracial girls will not be friends with me. A lot of, this is crazy to say, but a lot of biracial girls and mixed and Latina women don't want to be friends with me. It's like if they see you as competition, not a friend. It's weird. So I don't think that Cleopatra is reaching or lying when she is saying that Ice Spice is jealous of her. And several people that were there went on to validate what she's saying. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely say I'm not. I don't think she's wrong, and I don't think that she's making that up. And y'all will see what she's talking about as she continues on with the story.
fall out with a friend over miscommunications, misunderstandings, that's okay. You know, we can work it out. Honestly, it's not something that is like has to end everything. You know what I'm saying? But you actually have one time to show me that you are jealous, intimidated, untrustworthy, fake, disloyal, and genuine, manipulative, and calculated. And I promise you that will be the last time you ever play with me.
Pause. That's not true, Cleopatra. See, a lot of people like to talk hard like that, but y'all will see as she continues on with the story, she allowed Ice Spice to disrespect her so many times. When somebody like me, the first time you act weird, I'm gone. That doesn't mean we can't be friends, but we're going to have to discuss this later on. Okay. But what I'm not going to do is continue on with this trip and subject myself to this. Right. If you didn't want me to be here, I'm gone. And that's the real lesson here, ladies. Learn to leave when somebody makes you feel unwelcome. Don't continue to stay in a situation hoping that it's going to get better.
Now I will break down how it ended. And for a lot of people that don't know, me and Ice did not grow up together. That is not my childhood friend. I met her 2 years ago. Before she blew up, I was very supportive of her. Before she even blew up, I was somebody that genuinely liked her. I was like, this girl is so cute. I seen her video on my Explore. She didn't even drop her viral song yet. And I was so supportive of her. Now, anyways, I'm just going to tell the story because you guys deserve to know. You guys deserve to know why we are not friends anymore because a lot of y'all loved us being together. You guys do deserve to know why we're not friends. Y'all do deserve to know who y'all are so obsessed with. Y'all love her so much. Y'all deserve to know who that girl is as an actual human being. As an actual human being. Fuck looks. Fuck looks. Fuck all of that. As a human being, at your soul. Y'all deserve to know. So the ending of July, I get a call from Ice very early in the morning. Cleo, come on tour with me. I miss you. Come. And I'm just like, girl, I'm not about to come on tour with you and watch you perform all month. Like, I got a nigga. I got stuff that I could be doing. I could be getting money. I have opportunities in New York. I have brand deals. I have things that I need to focus on. So for me to travel all over the United States with you to watch you perform kind of crazy. She's like, no, I want you to perform. And I gagged. You want me to perform? She ain't never, ever, ever, ever brought me out on stage. I was like, oh, wait.
Pause. That's red flag number one. That is red flag number one. So you've been friends with this girl for 2 years. It's difficult to walk away from one of the most popular people in the world. Baby, I'm putting my heels on and I'm gone. And that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why people like uh even P. Diddy were allowed to operate and treat people the way that they've treated them so long because people will stay and grovel on their knees or feel like they got to take whatever just because a person has money. And I'm saying this as a person who walked away from a very similar situation. Y'all don't know this about me. A few years ago, I was living in a mansion. No lie. No lie. I was living in a mansion where I had one, and I had my own apartment that I was paying for because I'm the type of person where I don't know. I'm weird. I don't like living with people and they have the ability to put me out. Oh, thank you. Hey, Cha Cha. Good to see you, girl. Good to see you, girl. Glad you're here. Okay, perfect. I was living in a mansion. Okay, this mansion was so big. I was on one wing of the house. My room was bigger than a lot of people's apartment, and it was right above a ballroom that was in the mansion. There's an elevator on the other side. We had a big old game room, pool table, all of that. Okay, a secret strip club in the damn house. I'm telling you, this is something that you would see on MTV Cribs, right? And I had to walk away over my respect from somebody who put me in a position to be around and touch a lot of money and be in the rooms with people that had money and important people. But when that person started feeling like they could disrespect me and talk down to me because they gave me opportunities, when I tell you I was gone and did not sweat it and did not care. You got to know yourself. You have to know your worth, and you have to understand other opportunities will come. Bump that materialism. You got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. So I'm not saying this as somebody who is like, oh, it's easy for you to say this. You've never had these type of opportunities. No, I've had it and walked away and never looked back. Let me continue.
Okay, like I guess this girl in my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, I guess she's really trying to make up for that fake shit that got exposed like a month ago. Like she's really trying to like, be a actual friend because that shit was weird as fuck. And I checked her about that shit. And even for her to apologize was like pulling teeth. Like, girl, you got caught calling your friend jealous for no fucking reason. And her excuse was that I didn't speak up when I was asked if she was Nigerian. Like, girl, I met you a month before that video. I didn't even know you was Nigerian. So that was kind of weird to me too, that she was upset at me for not knowing if she was Nigerian. And she said that you could have at least said I was black. Like, girl, I didn't even know you. Am I your PR? Am I supposed to be clearing up every time somebody's asking about you being black or Nigerian? Like, that's not my role. And I don't even know you. And I don't even know you. So I was so confused. Anyways,
Just to clarify for anybody that's just coming in, when Ice Spice and Cleopatra met a few years, like they've only been friends for a couple years, and upon them first meeting, shortly after Cleopatra did an interview, the interviewer was Nigerian also, and brought up, hey, Ice Spice is Nigerian, and Cleopatra was like, no, I didn't know that. She didn't tell me that. She told me her best friend was Nigerian. So eventually the interview gets back, to Ice Spice. She sees it and she tries to shade Cleopatra and say that Cleopatra is jealous of her just because she said she didn't know that she was Nigerian. So that ever since then, I'm gonna keep it real. Ice Spice didn't like her. Okay. Ever since then, Ice Spice did not like that girl and was out to embarrass her. People rarely give from the kindness of their heart. They want to be able to try you at some point down the line. I'm glad you walked away. Yeah, girl. And you have to. And you got to know when you're dealing with people who are narcissistic and people who behave like that, they're dangerous. So eventually it's going to come. The falling out is going to come. I'd rather it be earlier on than we're years in and I've let you treat me like your bitch for years, and then the falling out comes. No, let's just get this out the way.
move past. Anyways, after that situation that had happened, with her ex best friend exposing her for calling like just about everybody jealous, that was kind of like sick too. Because why do you think everybody's jealous of you? She literally tried to link me being jealous of her with that interview of me.
Now, I'm sure Ice Spice has run across some women who are jealous of her in their lifetime. But personally, uh in my opinion, in my opinion, she believe in her own hype. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be kind. Be kind today. They said Ice Spice daddy looked like the Dominican Victor Baxter. Yeah, I thought her dad was Dominican, but he's dark skin. Let me look this up real quick. Let me look this up. Let me pull up a picture. Girl, if I bust out laughing, I'm gonna blame it on you, Cha Cha. Let me see. Can I find the daddy? Okay, I think this is her dad. Okay. And this is a Nigerian page, Buzz Nigeria. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is her father right here. Hold on. Y'all see him? He's not. What's this? Okay, so let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, so he looked like a just a he looked like a brother from here. I've seen her mother. I believe her mother is the Dominican one, and her mother looks just like her. Her mother is actually very the mother is very pretty, very pretty. Okay.
not knowing if she was Nigerian. And I'm just like, girl, are you crazy? And she never said that she felt the way. And it was just like, I didn't even know that she was mad at me. She's just in messages talking about me. So she tells me, like, I think everybody's jealous of me. Don't take offense to it. I say that about everybody. I'd say that everybody's jealous of me. I even say that about my mom.
Girl, red flags. See, some women collect red flags with friends, with men. It's like at as soon as I would have found out that she was mad over that type of weirdness, over something that's not even that deep, we had just met each other. You know that you didn't tell me that you were Nigerian. And to be clear, she's not really Nigerian. This is something that her dad found on an ancestry DNA test. So you have Nigerian DNA, but culturally you're not Nigerian. So what are we talking about here? Like that would have been a wrap for me personally. Okay.
Like, that's kind of sick. But okay. Like, okay.
That's
Fast
not her
forward though,
daddy.
I
Okay,
started
try
thinking
to
that a
find
lot of the things
another
that Ice was
picture.
doing was calculated. Like, even the thing after her best friend
Oh, okay.
exposing her, it was like, oh, like, let's go to the basketball game. Come with me to this basketball game. I'm thinking like, oh, she just wanted me to come with her to a basketball game. Like, maybe she's trying to make it up. I don't know why I kept thinking like she was trying to make it up for being like caught being fake. But it was just like, even a basketball game, it was like one day later, she's like dropping a song. It's like every time she's like inviting me out, because we never chilled on some like chill shit, bro. Like, it was never like there's some chill. It was always like in the blogs the next day and the song is dropping too. So it was like, what, this girl kind of uses me for her rollouts. So I'm just like, okay. When the tour thing came out, I'm like, oh, she's actually trying to like give me something now. Like, okay, okay. She's trying to make it up. She's trying to word. She's trying to be an actual good friend. I made a flyer announcing that I was gonna be coming on tour with her. It did not even get reposted. It didn't even get a comment or
And I'm gonna say this. I just feel like it's so weird. Not that your famous friends owe you something, but I just know the type of relationship that I have with my friends. And like for example, I have a friend who I tell her all the time, "Girl, you need to get on YouTube." And no, my channel is not big yet. It's going to get there. But you better believe as soon as my homegirl hops on YouTube, y'all will be seeing her. Y'all will be seeing me doing interviews with her, content with her, because first of all, she provides value. So I'm not doing her a favor as a friend. She provides value. She's been a huge inspiration in my life, right? But at the same time, as a friend, I'm gonna support and hype my friend up in whatever she's doing. And I do that with all my friends. I promote all my friends' businesses. So to be friends with another female who raps, and it's not like she's trash. It's one thing if you have a friend who is lazy, doesn't have the work ethic, and they're on top of that bad at what they do. So I can understand you saying, hey, I like this person as a person, but I don't know for my brand if I want to co-sign that, right? But even then, you should explain that to them, right? I just don't see myself being friends with somebody for 2 years and they hop in a lane that I'm already in and I don't help them out. No, it's not old. It's not old, right? But as a real friend, as somebody who has consistently had the same friends for 15 years and does not have superficial relationships, that's not how I handle my homegirls. My mom has a habit of saying people are jealous of her. She's light skinned. Yes. And guess what? You have to know when you're, this is the problem. And I have definitely, um, it's kind of like a weird space to be in when you're light skinned because I never wanted to be one of those light skinned girls who thinks everybody is jealous of me because everybody is not, right? So there have been times where I have even been in denial when I was younger. Now I see that quick and I don't fool with those people. Like if you feel like somebody's jealous of you, then why even be around them? Because jealous people are dangerous. But at the same time, you also have to check how you show up. If you're walking around with the superiority complex and people are looking at you stank or have an attitude with you because you showed up that way, then it's a you thing, right? But if you know that you do right by people and that you're kind to people and that you treat people with respect and decency, and then they're acting stank with you, right? And I'm not talking about this little petty stuff like the girl didn't say you were Nigerian. I'm talking about their real life doing foul things to you. Then you can, and you didn't do anything to them, then you can chop it up to jealousy. But then again, that's not all women. It's not all dark skinned women. It's not all black women. It's not like this is most of the time it's a specific kind of person. But you can peak that bad energy, you know. And then her saying her mother is jealous of her, man, and her mother looks good. Okay, Cha Cha, you said you just DM me a photo of her dad on IG. I think I found him. Let me look and see. Okay, I think this is him. Let me see. Okay. I think this is, you can't really see it because he has this hat on. Okay, so yeah, her dad does look, that's him, right, Cha Cha? It says Joseph Gaston, that's her dad. Yes, okay, so he looks super Dominican. Okay. But you always want to vet before you start walking around talking about people jealous of you. There needs to be some other factors at play other than you're light skinned, right? You need, oh, they just don't like me. Or first, ask yourself if you're petty. Let's start there. Because a petty person thinks everybody and their mama is jealous of them. Oh, hold on.
The bill, it didn't even have my name on it. Like just about nobody knew I was coming on tour. It was like a special guest. Like she didn't even like shine any sort of like her own light on me. It was like kind of like all me. Like I want my things to come out. Like she didn't really try to like mesh me in with her actual fan base or try to like put her fan base onto me. Very calculated, you know? It was
Hater.
just given like, oh, let's let Cleo eat, but we gonna give her crumbs. Like we gonna shine light on her, but let's dim it. You know what I'm saying? It just gave that so much. Online says the show starts at
This is a hater trying to embarrass you, but let's continue.
8. It would even say 9 sometimes. And guess what time I was going on? At 7:30, 7:45. I was going on before the show starts. So that was kind of weird in itself. I had no idea what to expect going on tour. I had no idea until I got on tour and started seeing certain things. And I'm just like, wait, why don't I have that? I didn't have a room. I was told I was going to be with her, but I didn't have a room. No room for me backstage.
Okay, so and this is the problem that I'm telling y'all that Cleopatra has, and she doesn't know her worth. See, she shouldn't have, first of all, this girl has not shown you any evidence that she is a good friend up until now. Matter of fact, she's shown you that at the very least you should be reserved and slow to build that. They should have been slowly kind of building that back up. And going on tour with somebody, it's kind of like going out of the country with somebody. I would never go out of the country or go on a vacation with a woman who has shown me shade in the United States. I would never leave the comfort of my hometown with a woman who has already shown me that she's petty. Because when you start traveling with somebody, there are a lot of obstacles that happen on the road. Sometimes y'all might want to do different things. Sometimes interests diverge. Y'all might not necessarily like. If she's already petty, y'all are going to be getting into arguments over the AC. Y'all are going to be getting into arguments over just the petty, what to eat, that kind of stuff. So if somebody's already shown you that they're petty, just know that's not the person to be trying to move around with on tour or on a vacation. None of that. That's cool, girl. If we still gonna be friends, I'll meet you at brunch. Did you see Azalea Banks' commentary on this matter? I agree with her on this situation, but I hope Cleo doesn't get close to Erica Banks. She's too much of a wild card. Yeah, I heard Cleo saying that she was gonna go on like Azalea Banks inviting Cleopatra on tour with her. And like you said, I agree with her. I don't know how much of that though is because there's another side to this too. And I'm gonna be all the way 1,100 with this too. I'm gonna be fair. I call it down the middle. There are some women who are just jumping on the opportunity to go in on a light-skinned woman. That is true too. I'm gonna call it down the middle and say both sides of this thing, right? I do feel like Ice Spice mistreated Cleo. I feel like Ice Spice is jealous of Cleo. I feel like Ice Spice is delusional and feels like everybody hates on her because she's light skinned and gets so much attention. And we're not going to pretend she doesn't get the attention that she gets. But there are also those women who jump on an opportunity to go in on a light skinned woman. So I'm not sure how much of that is Azalea Banks just trying to be supportive of another dark skinned woman and showing genuine concern, because I feel like people have kind of done Azalea Banks. They don't necessarily give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay. And she is talented. Um, so I'm not sure how much of that is genuine or it's just the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And if it's the enemy of my enemy is my friend, that type of person will turn on you quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I'm with you on that, Cha Cha. I don't know about getting too close to Azalea Banks because this could have just been an opportunity for Azalea Banks to get out her frustration because of how she's been treated in the industry. Okay.
At all. I was in her dressing room. I didn't have no writer. I was with her. And before I came on tour, I asked her what were the things that I was going to have to pay for, because this is so last minute. Like, you're only giving me one day to prepare. Like, it's July 30 something and we going on tour August 1st. Like, girl, like literally one day. So I'm just like, what do I have to pay for? Nothing. You're going to be with me. You're good. You're going to be with me.
Okay,
So
so I'm gonna say this. They talked about the finances. Ice Spice said she was going to pay for everything. I need that in a contract. I need that in a contract. And it's sad that you have to be that way, but in this situation, yeah, I'm gonna need, because you haven't even shown. I personally, I wouldn't have gone, right? And then she's going last minute. The girl showing you she's been shady before. At this point, doing any business with a shady friend, you're gonna need things in a contract, point blank, period, right? Uh, Especially if it's a situation where she wasn't getting paid for this. So basically, she's helping Ice Spice's concert be more lit because again, she is the bigger she's not the most well known, but she is the better talent, right? So I'm not getting paid for this. Let's still write what is and is not included up in the contract. You send it to your lawyers. I send it to my lawyers. Any friend that is not okay with that, right? If they're not okay with respecting your business side, don't do business with them. We can just be friends. That's it. Again, my home girl, she created this logo I have right here on my page. My friend created that. I paid her to do that. And she's doing my website, right? So she handles things in a particular way because that's her business, right? And I have to respect that, even though we've been friends for so long. Thank you. If it's a tour, you should be signing some paperwork for sure. Yeah. All of that, all of that, we friend. No, 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 no.
I was like, okay, everything is handled. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna make the best out of it. I'm gonna make the absolute best out of it. I don't have no dances or nothing. I'm just gonna go out there and do what I can do.
Now, let me before we continue, I don't want to sound like I'm going in too much on her because she's young. This is a learning experience. I'm sure now she knows, right? But remember, I'm reviewing this content for the purpose of the lesson for my viewers. Hopefully she has learned. That's probably why she asked her last minute. Yeah, I think so too. And I honestly feel like just listening to all this, I feel like she wanted the opportunity to try to embarrass her.
So that's that. I'll tell y'all how the tour went now. Please keep in mind that before I went on tour, I had 1 day to prepare, one single day. Everything was a rush, but I'm looking at this like, okay, this is gonna be good for me.
I'm gonna say this too. If that was my friends and I wanted my friend to be able to come on tour and do the absolute best, I wouldn't have asked them to come on tour with me last minute. Who does that? Okay, because first of all, I'm not even sure, even if you're a great performer, I'm not sure that you're going to be able to get it together in time to where you're in tip top shape. And I don't need you coming on before me and not doing well. There are some people who intentionally, I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day, and he was talking about how there are comedians who have admitted they always make sure that their opener is worse than them so that they can seem funnier. But I want nothing but quality on my names and my productions. So I wouldn't even invite somebody to come do a show the day before so that people can be talking about you and then in turn talking about the type of productions and talent that I bring on. I'm not doing it. Did you see Ice finally go public with Riot at the BMI Awards? That's that rapper from London. They look like siblings, awkward as hell, no chemistry at all. It might be a contract relationship. That is a real thing. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who was offered a contract relationship by a famous basketball player. That's a real thing. That's why a lot of the times y'all see in the industry that they pass around certain type of people, or that these men seem to date this a certain type of girls. A lot of times these are contract relationships, and they even will work in kids in the contract relationship. Like, you have to have this many kids, you have to live here. A lot of the times this is for showing publicity. They should have dropped pics of them doing some sexy shit or something. I think Ice Spice is trying to break out into the international lane, because you would be surprised how much more money there is in the international market. For example, at the end of last school year, I was talking to my boys, and they all want to be rappers. So, I love Bad Bunny. Benito is Bay. And, my kids would make fun of me for listening to him, but I would tell them, like, this man has more money than your top three favorite rappers combined. Okay. There are not none of the new generation of rappers is making half of what Bad Bunny makes. And that's just true. The Latin market is big. The Afro beats market is big. The people, the black people in London are on their come up. So there's money to be made, which is part of the reason why I feel like Ice Spice befriended Cleopatra, because she is Nigerian. So it's a good marketing strategy. You could tell she had no plans on going public with him. This situation definitely forced Ice's hand. I don't even think I think she that's what I'm saying. I think her PR and then might sorry, I think her PR team might have wanted her to put that on blast, because again, that is an overseas market she can tap into. No, that's her producer that she's been with since college apparently. She's a Safari to her Nicki Minaj. Oh, so you're saying that he does he write her raps? Is that what you're trying to say, Cha Cha? Let me know. Because if he does, he needs to do better.
For me. And again, did not have any, I didn't know what to expect. This is my first tour. Like, I wasn't allowed to bring anybody. She said if I brought anybody, I was gonna have to pay for their hotel and transportation. I'm just like, girl, I didn't even have time to prepare for this. Like, I only got one day. Like, you feel me? Like, it's damn near like me putting everything, like putting my needs to the side to to accomplish something. I have things to pay for myself as an independent artist. So of course I'm thinking like of ways to not come too much out of pocket for a tour that doesn't even have me on the bill. Like I'm not even on the lineup. Like, okay. Anyways, let's go into.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just getting more irritated the more I listen to this. Because she undervalues herself so much. It's ridiculous.
How the tour went. So first couple of days was cute. We went to Philly, and this is when things go left now. Um, yeah, we're in a hotel room. We're not sure if we're gonna like bring our bags to the venue, because I guess like we were gonna come back to the hotel. But she told me, don't leave your bags at the venue.
I'm sorry, Cha Cha. I think I'm getting hurt. Okay, I don't know. You know, I'm almost a auntie now. Like, I'm almost on that status. I remember I thought you were talking about this London artist. I don't remember his name, that she was in the blogs for being seen with, but it was controversial because they were like, well, wasn't she supposed to already have another man? So I think that you tell me the dude's name if you know, Cha Cha. So maybe Riot is the one that people were like, well, aren't you going with him? Because she was out and about in a car with a London rapper who supposedly also had a girlfriend. You're thinking of, yes, Central C. Yeah, that was PR to the max. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm getting them confused. Thank you. All right, let's continue.
You might need some. You don't leave your bags at the hotel. You might need something in it. And I was like, okay, I'll bring it. Her security, who brings all her bags, she has like 10 bags. He brought my bag, brought the bags down, and now we're at the venue. And I do need something in the suitcase. Like, I had a wardrobe malfunction, like she said I probably would have. That's that she cursed me, okay? Because now I do have a wardrobe malfunction. So I'm like, oh, how can I get the bag? She's like, tell the security to get it for you. I go to the security. I'm like, can you get my bag out the trunk? Because I have no idea where the trunk is, where the car went. We just came into the venue like we artists, we working, whatever. He goes, he gets the bag, brings it upstairs. I change, da da da. End of the show. I put my bag next to her 10 bags and the big black dresser. And yeah, I'm thinking everything is gonna be moved, but like back into the truck, and we could, leave, go back to the hotel. I turned around, and my bag is still there. My bag was still there. All her bags was gone. I'm just like, why would somebody just leave my bag? Like, I'm like, I asked the security, I'm like, can you take my bag? He said no. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? He brought.
Okay, do you know how petty? Do you know how petty you have to be to tell the security, take all these other bags, but that one right there, you leave it there. She gonna get her own bag. And let's say Ice Spice did not tell the security guard. He did that on his own because he felt like it was extra work. Well, as your friend who invited you on this tour, as soon as you let me know that, I'm checking my security. And if it's an issue with payment because I invited you on this tour and told you that you were good and I'm not broke, I'm going to pay the security what he asked for. Did you already discuss Erica Banks and the other side chicks that have stepped forward? I sure did. I sure did, Cha Cha. You're going to have to catch that on the replay. I sure did.
Or bags can't say. Okay, I'm like, can I pay somebody to bring my bags down? Because I didn't want to bring the bags down. Why would I want to bring the bags down? I'm just a girl. So I'm asking around, nobody's word. So I'm like, all right, let me bring the bags. I'm tight though. I'm tight. Like, I'm not used to this stuff. Like, what the fuck? I'm just supposed to be performing. Need I remind you, I'm not even allowed to bring somebody on tour with me. So I didn't really have anybody helping me. It was just me. But I feel like she could have simply said to the security, like, take Cleo's bag. Don't forget Cleo's bag. But I got a sense that she just wanted me to struggle. And that's
She
kind of
did.
fucked up as like a friend. Like, so I carry the bags.
She absolutely wanted her to struggle. She wanted to make Cleo feel like she's the help. Like, you're the help. I'm doing you a favor, but you're the help. And you're absolutely right, Cha Cha. Her response confirmed all of what Cleo said to be true. Yes, because she went on her. She was basically making it seem like Cleo was a bum. She was calling her entitled, all kind of stuff, saying, "Oh, you think the world revolves around you." In this situation, y'all are both rap artists. You invited her on the tour. Why should she not expect the same basic accommodations as you? I don't ever see rappers carrying their bags around. Why should she not expect the same basic? I'm not saying, she got to pay top dollar for everything, but it's like you already hired the security. He's already here to do the job. Why can't he take her bags for her? And then you told her she was good. So whatever extra needed to be paid, that's what you should have did, girl.
I take one duffel bag. Walking down. It's pouring outside. I put it in the car. The fans are screaming, Cleo, can we get a picture? Cleo, can we get a picture? As I'm struggling with a bag. And it's like very embarrassing. It's like,
And this is how I know that was on purpose. If you're my friend and I did not tell the security guard not to take your bag and I see you struggling with the bag, I'm getting out the car to help you. And then I'm asking my security, why didn't you get her bags? Okay.
very embarrassing. Like, never do fans want to take a picture with me while I'm like carrying big ass bags looking like that. I had to make a second trip for the suitcase. I made the second trip for the suitcase. Do it again. Raining outside, dragging the suitcase, fans in my face. It was so fucking humiliating. I was like, what the fuck? I get in the car, I'm tight. Like, I'm fake drenched and I'm tight. Like, and the car.
That is when I would have let her know that I'm leaving. That would have been when I would have let her know, you know what? I don't think even if she wouldn't have been ready to address the situation at that time, I would just say, hey, you know what? To be honest, I don't think I'm fully prepared to continue with the tour. And they could have discussed it later if she felt like that wasn't the time. And she could have let her know what was going on if she didn't want to get into it with her. But that is when I definitely would not have continued. I wouldn't have went in the first place. But that is when she should have discontinued.
Car ride in silence, and I know she peeped why I was mad. It's like she just doesn't give a fuck. So we went to the hotel. Now when we pull up to the hotel, she's like, oh, like telling the security guy what bag she wants taken out the car because we was about to go to the hotel so she could take a shower. But it's like, I perform too. I want to take a shower too. So I'm just like, you the only one that's taking a shower. I'm gonna take a shower too. She's like, oh, you got to tell him what bags to take out, or he's not gonna take it. And I'm just thinking to myself, didn't I just tell this guy to bring my bags to the car, and he said no? So why would I?
Girl, why did she... Let me calm down because I'm really getting irritated. This is your security. You hired him. Think about your friend, like she said. It's like, girl, do you want to come take a shower too? Okay, you need him to get your bags. Like, that's the type of friend that I am. Okay, let me just continue because this is ridiculous.
think that he's gonna take my bags out because I said so. You know, it's like she just didn't want to speak for me at all. She just wanted to show that you're here alone, bitch. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, wow. So I come out the car and I'm just telling the bellman, because at least there's a bellman here, and what bags to take out because I'm gonna take a shower too. So we go upstairs and it's like after the show kind of gets like a rush vibes because we're trying to like hurry up and get back on the bus. So we're in the hotel room, and I had this feeling in my chest. I don't know if anybody else who's a real ass bitch gets this feeling. And it's just a feeling, and I'm just like, I have to say something, because if I don't say something, I'm gonna start moving like I don't like her. So I want to at least say how
Girl, that wasn't a weird feeling. That was your discernment kicking in. Now, it kicked in a little too late, but it was kicking in. You should have listened to it.
I feel, get her take on it instead of being angry and just letting it build up frustration in me. So she's in the shower, and I'm like about to take my makeup off so that we can, like, I'm not waiting for her to get out the shower to take my makeup off, and it's just delaying us because we're trying to hurry up. So I went to the bathroom, I'm taking my makeup off, and I'm like, yo, you asked me to like take my bag. I mean, not you asked me. I'm like, yo, you told me to take my bags with me to the venue. You said that it was smart for me to take my bags, and the reason why. And you even told me to tell your security to bring the bags upstairs. So why would it be a problem for him to bring the bags back to the car? And she goes, that's my security. He works for me. If he feels like he's doing more work, he's gonna want to get paid more. So I'm like, how much does he want to get paid more? Because if I'm gonna be with her this whole tour, I will pay him more. I'll pay him more to
But
get.
here's the thing, she shouldn't have even had to offer because Ice Spice told her, I got you. She told her, I got you. Cleo even offered to pay to have her bags taken care of. She definitely wasn't trying to be unreasonable with Ice and her team. Yeah, so she offered to pay. But at this point, it seems like Ice Spice just wanted to sabotage the girl. This is what I think happened because it seemed like all the funny stuff didn't start happening until after the show. I feel like Cleo got too much love during her performance that night, and that didn't sit well with Ice Spice. And then she started acting funny from there on. That's how narcissists move. You'll never know what set them off, but oftentimes it's you just out in this type of situation. It seems like she was getting outshined. And if you've read Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, what's one of the major laws? Never outshine the master. And I know that sounds crazy, especially when we're talking about the colorism thing. But people that feel like they are above you, they feel like they're the master. Oh my God. Going back to that story I was telling y'all about, I walked away from a situation where I was living good, living in a mansion, going on all of that. Um, the reason why we fell out, part of the reason, this is what led to the downward spiral, is because this woman told me never outshine the master. She literally said that. So I don't know if she read that book. At that time, I had not read that book, but she told me that. No, that's not what she said. She said, you can't outshine the master. That's what she said. And it took me aback. And at that point, I stopped arguing with her because I didn't understand. I didn't know that we were in competition. I didn't know we were in competition. Um, so yeah, it seems like to me she got too much attention, and Ice Spice didn't necessarily expect that to happen, and she wanted to make her pay for that.
Carry my bags. I don't want to be carrying my bags. I don't. Like y'all seen all the fans seeing me carry my bags. That was crazy to me. So I'm like, all right, we gotta figure this out. So like, how much you want to get paid more? He's like, he gets paid a flat rate. I'm like, is this girl serious? She said it like she had no idea what flat rate meant. If he gets paid a flat rate, that means that he'll move a house for you. He's getting paid to work for you. He got paid to work for you. He's moving anything you tell him to move. He's moving anything that you.
Facts. And even if it was, I get paid a flat rate per person, pay the rate, double the price. Hey, these are things you need to think about before you invite somebody on tour. So she invited her on tour, told her, I got you. Now, if the security is saying I want double because I have to do double the work, I'm supposed to just be working for you, pay the man his money. No problem. And I'm talking about Ice Spice here.
Tell him to move. So I'm like, girl, I was carrying them bags out. Like the fans was all in my face. She started making it seem like she understand, like, oh yeah, that's crazy, da da da. But then she goes back to being weird, and she's just like,
That's how you know when somebody doesn't care. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. She seems like that type, just soulless, nonchalant, and superficial. That should have been like, girl, I'm so sorry. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Let me have a conversation with my security. Not, oh, yeah, that's crazy. What?
he can't leave my side. Like he can't leave me. That's why. Like, girl, what you mean he can't leave you? So now I catch her again. Like just like she's just weird. I'm just like, what you mean he can't leave you? We was up there waiting for him to bring all your bags. He left you several times to bring your bags to the car. He left you a lot of times already. She's like, oh, why would I wait for him to bring your bags to the car? I'm like, the conversation was done after that. It was done. I said, okay, I know the type of girl that I'm dealing with. She's very.
And you should have been done at that time. There's no contract. Get you on a flight and go. Period. You don't need the opportunity that bad. Everybody already knew at this point that this Ice Spice friend. Go. This is about respecting yourself at the end of the day. If you let somebody treat you like you're the scum of the earth, then that's all they will see you as. Once you've allowed somebody to treat you like that, then you know where they stand with you or where you stand with them. At that point, she knew where she stood with Ice Spice. And around women like that, you are not safe. You are not safe. They will do anything to sabotage you.
Very selfish. Why would we just waited for him to bring your bags? What you mean? Why would we wait for my bags now? Like, girl, what?
This is not just she's selfish. That is part of the equation. She doesn't like you.
I got out the bathroom. That was the end of it. I didn't bring up that situation no more. I charged it to the game. And charging something to the game is normally something you do.
Okay, hi, Thug Angel. Y'all making Tupac look bad. He said black pain, not black crying. Well, first of all, welcome. This is my first time seeing you. But Thug Angel, you're gonna have to explain that. Who is the y'all that you're talking about? And why are you saying that? Thank you for watching.
Regarding business. But I thought that this girl was my friend. So I'm like, why would I have to charge something to the game in this situation? Like this is supposed to be my friend. But gradually I start seeing that she wasn't really my friend. And that was like the beginning of it. Now, what I didn't know, which I later learned after bringing up everything I went through to her, I learned that this situation where I said something about my bags was the reason why I got mistreated the entire tour after that. And I had no idea that she was so tight at me for for saying something, because she's the type of person who doesn't like to be said. She doesn't want anything said to her. She feels too big. She feels too highly. She's on her high horse. Nobody can say nothing to her. But that's the type of person I wouldn't want as a friend. Like, I don't want a friend that I can't tell about themselves. Like, I can't tell you about yourself because you're famous.
Oh, let me tell you, once I realize I can't be truthful with somebody, we can never be friends. Because I'm not about to walk on eggshells for you. Now, I'm not the type of person who would try to publicly embarrass you about your flaws, but I'm going to tell you, hey, you should have, that's not right. That's not, no, you could have did that better, right? You could have handled that differently. And I expect the same, because why be friends with people and you can't grow with them, right? So, but this is giving narcissistic. This is giving, there are a lot of people like to play like they're just men who have narcissistic personalities, but I have met just as many women who are narcissistic, especially women who are in positions of power and authority. Ooh, y'all, and again, I hate to say this, because out of all the female bosses and supervisors that I had a really good one last year. She was awesome. She was everything that a healed, healthy, and collaborative woman should be. And at our best, when we are in leadership, when I tell you, it's magic. It makes things happen at our best. You get what I'm trying to say? When you have a woman who has the perfect mix of empathy and compassion, but that go-getter and that masculinity, you can't beat it. There's not a man on earth that can beat that type of female leadership. But the problem is the vast majority don't know how to be that way. And when you put them in a position of power, they're gonna ride the hell out of you, and they feel like they gotta try to be, be harder than the men, but then it comes out as petty, spiteful, nasty, and narcissistic, right?
Like, that's sick. It doesn't matter how famous you are. We're still all human beings at the end of the day, and you still could get checked and you still could get told about yourself. Whatever though. So we went to the next places, got back to New York. The New York show was like, I was so like indecisive if I wanted to continue the tour because the bag situation. And I'm just like, oh, because I'm not gonna have anybody but me and my managers was working on getting somebody like some assistant. So that's that. I'll tell y'all how.
And honestly and truly, she didn't really need to do the New York tour, because Cleo, I believe she is from New York, so people in New York know her. So that wasn't something that she needed to do. I'm not going to continue with her part 3 and 4, because I want to go to these other videos where, let's say this, we going to clap for the men, because a lot of the times men will see a woman get done dirty, and because they care more about their check, they don't say anything, especially if it's a dark-skinned black woman. But the men were out here speaking up and coming for Ice Spice and confirming to the world what Cleopatra was saying. And I'm glad that he did that, because these men were doing that. Because if they did not, she would have just looked like another black woman complaining, right? Or lying. And that's what Ice Spice tried to make it seem like she was entitled, like she required too much, and that she was a liar. But these men came to her defense. Guys, remember, if you're coming in, please go ahead and hit that like button. That lets people know in the algorithm that I am live. More people will join in on the conversation. And also feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Let's continue.
My experience firsthand with the whole Ice Spice and Cleo attention shit. As some of you may know or probably don't know, I am a personal stylist, and I was hired as a backup stylist for Ice Spice Tour. And when I say everything that Cleo was saying is dead ass true, is dead ass true. So basically, I was more on the side with Spice. They had me like all in her rooms, like I'm all on that side. Like, like I wasn't over there with Cleo and them. Like they was singling them out. Like, the other.
So this is a neutral party. Okay. It seems like he's not friends with Ice. He just got hired to do a job. not friends with Cleo. Okay, so he doesn't have any reason to get on here and lie on behalf of Cleo. Matter of fact, Ice Spice has more money, so it would benefit him to get online and actually take her side. So he's burning a bridge right here.
The other hairstylists and all that type of shit, they were singling them out. Okay, it was a few things that caught me off guard. The first thing that caught me off guard was when I first made it there. Okay, I get with Spice, and me and her cool as hell, so we just be regularly talking about shit. I see she type got an attitude, so I asked her like, "What's up? Like, you good?" Type shit, like, filling her out. She like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool. Woo, woo. It's just Cleo black ass doing too much." I'm like, "Damn, hold up." She like, "Oh, she think like my workers is supposed to be working with her. Like, she think everybody that's here for me."
Now, first of all, that's so old school. Like, I haven't heard a black person say such and such black ass in a long time. That's some stuff you probably hear in a 90s movie. And the last time I did hear a light skinned woman say something like that was maybe like 4 years ago. And she's from California. And she definitely thought she was better than dark skinned women. This particular one. So when I heard her say that threw me off. Like, what? That's so. Who says that? Ice on her diva mess already. Yeah. And then in the climate that we have in 2024, I don't know if she's living under a rock, but she should already know that there is. So first of all, I don't even know why that would come to her mind to say that, but she should already know that there is some sensitivity. I don't care if you identify as black or if one of your parents is black or you're biracial. There's always gonna be some sensitivity when a lighter skinned person is referring to a darker skinned person skin complexion, and especially in the context you're talking about it as if you're irritated with the girl, so it comes off as if it's something negative, like you're using it as an insult. So I don't understand why she didn't know better. Yeah, it's bad in Cali. Yeah, I didn't realize. And in Cali, there's a whole bunch of biracial people, probably more so. The only other comparable place probably would be like a New York. So you probably do have a class of biracial people who feel like, okay, we're above the rest, just being honest. And again, as a biracial person, I don't want to seem like I'm like downing people that look like me or I don't like other biracial people. I just have to speak honestly and candidly about what I see. I got to be honest.
You're supposed to be here for her. Like, girl, where's your team at? Wooty wooty woo. So me, like, I'm like, yeah, like, I feel you type shit. I feel you. But I'm already knowing that Cleo was already coming last minute. So, like, but I'm still thinking at the same time, like, she got a group. She got people that's there for her. Like, she got her people. But to find out she didn't, like, while I was there, like, it was like, damn. So that was that. And I guess that's what Cleo talking about when she said the whole, like, the bag shit with the security guard and shit like that. Mind you, we in Texas. So we is at the hotel and shit. It's in the middle of nowhere. Everybody hungry. And Spice, like, when she want to eat, she want to eat. So Spice say, like, all right, y'all, we finna go get something to eat real quick. Come on. So I'm like, where Cleo and them at? Like, Cleo and them coming too? She like, oh, they all want to be grouped up all on the other side of the hotel. Like, fuck it, I'm hungry. I don't got time to be waiting for nobody. So I'm like, damn, like, like, but I wasn't finna say nothing, though. I was.
Girl, okay. When you're traveling with other people, you can't just have the mentality, when I want to eat, I want to eat. No. Especially if you told this girl, I got you. You got to make sure your friend eats. Right? And all this, oh, they grouped up. Okay, you feel away. You feel away because other people are hanging out together. What are they supposed to be doing? Just sitting around waiting at your beck and call? At least give people an opportunity. Hey, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. Y'all think y'all can get it together within the next 10-15 minutes? To just not invite them is crazy. And I'm not going to show that video that Cleo did, but she basically said they had been saying they were hungry all day long. So she knew they were hungry.
I was gonna text Cleo. I wasn't even finna, like, I'm letting shit play. I was finna play. So we go get.
I'm going to say this. He's wrong too. Now, I like that he spoke up, but He should have said, hey, no, I think we should let them know that we're about to go eat. That's the right thing to do. Who cares that it's Ice Spice? Like, that's what I'm saying. Y'all gotta be, if he got invited to be a stylist on her tour, clearly he's good at what he does. There will be another celebrity. It's this lack of abundance mindset that has people being silent or complicit in the foolery.
Something to eat type shit. We at the steakhouse and shit like that. And Cleo is texting her while we at the steakhouse. She texting her like, "Hey boo, da 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 da, I'm hungry, da 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 da, like y'all don't want to go get nothing to eat." Woo woo woo. Spice not texting back. Like I see the message. Spice not texting back. So she not texting back and shit. I'm feeling bad. Like I'm like, damn. So I make sure like I was bringing some extra food back because I'm like, I'ma just split my shit with them.
No, you shouldn't have to do that because you're sitting over here being scary. Okay, you wouldn't have been at the restaurant feeling bad had you not checked that before y'all even left. So he has some culpability there too. You shouldn't have had to bring back some additional food because everybody should have been getting ready to go to that restaurant.
So we get back to the hotel and shit. I go up there and I go up in the room and I'm like, yeah, so y'all still hungry? Well, I brought some food back. She like, what the fuck you mean you brought some food back? Like, whoa, whoa, you went to McDonald's? Like, da, 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 da. I'm like, no, we went to the steakhouse. She like, no, like, what? Motherfuckers got me fucked up. Z, hell no. Like, I'm tired of this shit. I already been going through this shit these last few days. Fuck this. She's self-considerate, all of this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't even know why she brought me here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, fuck this. Like basically, like she was ready. Like she was ready to start, getting active. So I'm trying to calm her down and shit like that because like I don't really want no attention. I don't really want no shit to go on. Plus, two, like I had just walked down there to their room.
No, you was being messy and you was being scary. Okay? Let's start there. That was messy. Now, if you're gonna go do the dirt with somebody and you didn't want to speak up, you didn't have no business going in there saying nothing. And I understand he was trying to, bring the food. But if you weren't willing to stand by what you went in there and told her, then don't go tell it. Don't go tell it. Point blank, period. Then just don't go tell it. Okay.
So it was gonna seem like I probably just came back and instigated some shit and started some shit. So I'm
You
like,
did.
let me not even be on that type of time. So I'm trying to calm her down. I end up being able to calm her down and shit like that. She calms down. She like, nah, man, though, like I really want to say something, woo, 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 but you know what? Like, you right, I'm gonna give it time and shit. Like, I'm gonna just wait until it's more ending towards it. And I'm gonna text her, woo, woo, woo. Like, and I'm like, shit, like, do what you gotta do. So now I get back in the room with Ice. She on FaceTime with Riot. She letting him know, like, yeah, she doing too much. She blowing my scale. She was like, bitches gotta go. They asking for too much. Woo, woo. Bitches acting broke. Like, I'm really tired of her black ass. And I'm like,
Okay, so this is the second time she done referred to her as that. I if this is your real friend, let's say Cleo was broke. I would never sit on the phone with my man and tell my man. First of all, I'm not referring to my friend as the B word. Let's start there. And then sit up and call her broke. What? I'm not saying that in front of anybody. Because if you broke, I got you. Okay. We all go through financial hardships. And then it's the fact that she told her before they went on tour that she had Cleo, that she was going to pay for everything. So how are you going to tell somebody that you got them, they don't have to pay for nothing, but then call them broke or say they're acting broke when they expect you to pay for basic stuff like security, food, things like that. She has to eat. Security, food, accommodations, things like that. I think that Ice Spice. Let me not say that because then y'all gonna be saying that I'm ableist. I don't. Let me say this. I don't think that Ice Spice wheels turn all the way.
damn, like, why does she keep saying this? Like, what? And I'm not really thinking nothing too much of it because, like, like I guess she mixed with black or something like that. But like to actually hear Cleo's whole story, that bitch colorist, like yeah. And Spice, like, I know you probably ain't fucking with me after this, but shit, I'm black my damn self, and I'm walking around this bitch looking like Boo Boo the Fool to support you, and you black ass this, black ass that, and was treating the old girl how.
Yeah, any doubts that I had, because it could have just been a case of Ice Spice is a bad friend, and Ice Spice is a jealous friend. You know, it might have could have been a situation where color didn't even play a factor, but because she keeps referring to Cleo as this, we can definitively say that it played a major role, that she is colorist.
How you was treating her, shit. So I walk out the room real quick to go spark my 1 2 1 2 type shit. And as I'm out there, I'm like, damn, like I feel bad for Cleo type shit. And I really felt like Spice wasn't seeing what she was doing, but she knew what she was doing, but she wasn't seeing like how brutal that shit really was. So I text her, like, trying to let her know, like, hey, friend, like, I think you low key tweaking. Like, you probably, think about how you low key probably got old girl feeling type shit. I'm finna post the messages in the next video. I'm finna do the next video right now. So just go to my.
Okay, so we're gonna give him his props. Finally, he said something. He spoke up. What is all this? Y'all are in the same vicinity and doing all this texting. Why can't I don't understand? Why are they scared to? This is the problem with this generation. First of all, you shouldn't be scared to step in your friends or somebody you're acquainted with face and let them know how you feel. That's the problem. But this generation does everything via text and doesn't understand why there are miscommunications and things escalates, because you cannot judge tone in text a lot of the times. Guys, just remember as y'all are coming in to hit that like button so that people can know that I'm live. And make sure that you are commenting and giving your opinion. If you have a different perspective, it is welcome here. Just keep it respectful. Mostly to my other people watching, I really don't care what y'all say to me, to be honest. Okay, so let's watch parts. Did I say part 2? I don't even want to watch it. I mean, I feel like we can pretty much say definitively that Ice Spice is at best a terrible friend and at worst a colorist, and she did Cleo dirty. Now, moving on to the next topic. Chrisean, Rock, and Blueface. Now, I want to show y'all something. If you've been watching me or you've been a subscriber for a long time, you know that I have done a couple of videos on Chrisean, Rock, and Blueface, especially when they were out in the free, and how you should run like the plague from men like Blueface, because they will never change and they will constantly have you triangulating and in competition with another woman, and it is always a race to the bottom. Blueface is from California, and if you don't know anything about a lot of these men from California, that pimp culture is real strong. And a lot of men, I'm not saying all, I'm not even saying the majority, but a lot of men like Blueface, because it's a type, they have that pimp mentality. And they feel like they are a bad bitch. And they use women to get money and funds and to basically mule for them. That is a really big culture, especially the men from the Bay. Okay. So I've talked about this, and I remember hearing, Chrisean say, well, why are you with me? Why do you love me? Like, and he was basically telling her in so many words, because you're slow, and if it wasn't me taking advantage of you, somebody else would be doing it. So somebody got to do it, which I believe is true. I believe if Chrisean wasn't acting slow about Blueface, she would be acting slow about somebody else. Okay. So I want to show y'all this picture. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm real wrong for this, but I got to do it. I got to do it. Oh, because come to find out, this man had a Jerry curl the whole time. Oh, I wish I would let a man with a Jerry curl dog me out the way he dogged Chrisean and his baby mama out. I wish I would. Oh, he looked rough. Oh, he looked rough. He already gave disease to me. I would not touch a man that looked like Blueface with a 10-foot pole. And this type of man thinks that because he's light skinned and he has curly hair, come to find out it was a Jerry curl the whole time. Which I don't like that. I don't like men to go do stuff like that. That's not masculine to me. Like you need to like your hair. I don't know. Like that's so feminine to me for a man to go do that. And there's nothing wrong with the texture of his hair, but this it's weird to me. This type of behavior from it's like you want to be a female so bad. Skin looking crazy. He look at these forehead lines. He looks like he's aged a decade. I know he is in that penitentiary fighting for his life. That's what it looks like. Look at his skin. See, the problem is women like Chrisean and his baby mother make these type of men feel like they're bigger than what they are. Like they're better than what they are. And the women don't understand their attention is what makes this type of man somebody. You muling and making money for this man so that he can go spend on his other women and flash in front of everybody. That's what makes this type of man look attractive to other women. Even when he was doing the Blueface Girls Club in the mansion, he was getting paid off of the labor of other women coming on the show, being dumb, naive, and stupid, and acting foolish and fighting each other. That is that pimp mentality. Okay. Okay. So you got to treat these men who think that they're pimps like the bitch they are. Because ultimately, that's what they are. They're nobody. They should be the lowest form of man to you because they can't make money off of their own labor or they can't use their mind to go create something. Okay. Instead, they use their mind and their manipulation. Okay. Just like a manipulative woman, they use their manipulation of other people, in particular women, to get money. And that type of man is the lowest form of being to me. So I just wanted to show that. But on the flip side, okay, we got Chrisean and this is the real lesson in that. Okay, she let a man like that. I'm gonna share this screen. Look at Chrisean. Look at Chrisean. And she was pretty. Is it gonna show right here? She was pretty. Okay, all in behind a man and doing foolish ghetto activities with him. You're sitting behind bars. And again, we're not going to blame this all on Blueface because if he didn't have her acting a fool, another man probably would. But at this point, both of them are locked up. She probably doesn't have anything to show for it. And guess what? Blueface is probably going to get out earlier than her because I think Chrisean is facing 8 years and Blueface is facing 4. And remember all the support she was giving him while he was behind bars? I wonder if he's going to go out of his way to try to give her the same support. Probably not. Because now she's no longer useful to him. So he's going to be in prison talking that prison game to other women who are out in the free so that they can send him his money. But it's really sad. It's really a shame. So what are the lessons that we can take away from today? Well, when we talk about the first situation with Rich Homie Quan and Erica Banks, respect yourself enough to not publicly embarrass yourself for a man. Let's start there. It was never that deep. You should care more about your respect than being associated with a man who did not even claim you. Let's start there. Lesson number 2 with Cleopatra and Ice Spice. As soon as it's shade or you feel like there is some jealousy in a friendship or a relationship, run. Jealous people are dangerous. Do not play with that type of energy. Lesson number 3 that we can learn from Chrisean Rock and Blueface: don't let a man drag you to hell. Don't let him drag you to hell, because that's exactly where she let that man drag her. With that said, guys, that is all the commentary I have on that topic. Remember, if you're new here, my name is Mariah Sincere. I'm also known as Thepassportsis on TikTok. I'm a self-love coach. I help women radically transform their lives through one-on-one coaching, as well as I am a travel advisor. So if you want to contact me, if you have upcoming travel plans, hit me up at thepassportsis@gmail.com. That is my email for any type of inquiries. I also have a Dubai trip for $940 per person on sale right now. So hit me up if you're interested in that. You can also book travel for yourself through my online portal in the description box. Also, if you would like to make $100, if you sign up for direct deposit with Chime, you will get $100 when that deposit hits. With that said, all of my socials are in my description box. Thank you to everybody who showed up to this live, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.